Hey guys, I wanted to take a few minutes, hop on with some more information. I'm going to try and do more of these videos when I can. So today I just wanted to let you know that I have a bunch of new stuff on my Facebook page. There are links there. One is for a doctor talking about uh, the vaccine, and a couple of people involved with the vaccine. So you're going to have to check that out. I'm not going to say it here because I don't want my channel to go down and I want you to be able to have the information. Okay. But those involved in the whole vaccine process are being mentioned, and it is very, very monumental what came out of that. And there's such good information in there talking about vaccines and all the things that are in vaccines that should not be going into our body. So you want to check that out, okay? And my Facebook page is linked below, so please make sure you check there. The second video that I posted well, from that first video is definitely a win for us as far as these vaccines are not what we want. We do not have to accept a vaccine. And so the second video is actually the president in his briefing talking about the vaccine, and then he was asked a question by the reporter about making the vaccines mandatory, and he says, well, we're creating the vaccines, and those that want it will obviously get it, but those that don't want it don't have to take it. So again, I'm just going to say, know your rights. You know, your president is standing there telling you that you don't have to use the vaccine or have the vaccine if you don't want it. And I'm going to say there's a lot of you looking at him right now saying, oh, but he's talking about vaccines and he's looking to have one made by the end of the year. This is a very brilliant, brilliant man. And if you start following him, the best place to watch these press briefings is at thewhitehouse.com on YouTube. That's his channel. I've been watching there because everything else is fake news. And if you watch his press briefings, he's going to tell you exactly what's going on. And if you're really paying attention, you'll read between the lines, okay? And also do the research. The other thing I want to share is that I do a lot of research, okay? And I don't get paid to do any of this, but I'm trying to do my job. Part of my job supporting humanity. Part of this is supporting myself, my friends' kids, your kids, the earth in general, right? Because there's things that are taking place by certain people that are not really good, and we can't be okay with this stuff. And so this is where I'm sharing and I'm posting things that I've researched, so you know that it's factual. It's on my pages. And I'm posting the links that go with those articles, that go with those posts. So if you are sharing what I'm posting, I'm going to ask that you please make sure you share it in its entirety and copy over the links so that your people that are reading it on your page can be very well informed, because I've already done the research for everybody. Nobody has to research it because I've done all of that already. However, it's kind of a disservice to everybody that's reading it from another page if they're not getting all the links and the facts, okay? So I just want to make you aware. And you know, it benefits all of us to have complete information, okay? Very, very important. Now, something that I'm noticing is that there's a tremendous amount of fear. When I go out in public, I was out today, I had to go grocery shopping, tremendous amount of fear with people wanting to wear the face masks, okay? I do not recommend them. I've read so many studies from doctors, okay, who are saying that they are not healthy for us. So again, I have a lot of stuff posted on my Facebook page. And if you are wanting information on that, I suggest you go there. There's so many resources, but really all you have to do is start looking for the information and do the research. So, you know, getting used to that mask, not a good idea. Definitely makes it very hard to breathe. We're not getting the full amount of oxygen into your body. And, you know, from my background as a medical laboratory technologist, I can tell you that when our immune system is compromised in any way, shape, or form, it gives us an opportunity to get sick. And what is that compromised state connected to? Our emotional body and our mental body. And so when we are having thoughts of fear, like the coronavirus is going to take me down, it's going to kill me, it's going to impact my life, whatever, then we're creating fear in the body, and we are then creating the emotion that's going to be triggered, that's going to run in throughout your body. And when that emotion is triggered and it runs throughout the body, what it does is it focuses in on the place where the thought is centered, right? And so, that coronavirus, fearing other people, fearing connecting with other people, we're seeing crazy things like Germany. So mad at my people for doing this because I'm half German and half Hungarian. But Germany is actually making people wear some kind of hat or head device that has these tubes that are 6 feet long. And so if you want to have lunch or dinner with somebody, you have to wear these stupid, ridiculous hats. How demeaning, right? And you might not look at it that way, but everything, let me say it again because I want you to really hear this. Everything that we take in, everything through our perception plays a role in the health of our body, okay? Everything. So if you think that the mask is not bothering you, I'm going to challenge you on that, because if you go back to days where, slavery was very real on the earth, and you look at slavery and Google it and go back and see that they masked some of the slaves' mouths so that they couldn't speak, right? Because slaves were not meant to have a voice, okay? And you go back and you search that and Google that. Every single person on this earth, every person on this earth has a potential to dip into that timeline where there was repression and the throat chakra holds persecution, not being able to speak our truth, not being able to voice an opinion. And so if you think that that mask is doing a good thing for you, I really want to encourage you to think again, because it is not doing a good thing, not at all. Okay, quite the opposite. It's just that we've been so fooled into thinking that, the health organizations in this country and around the world have our best interests at heart. And I'm going to challenge you on that. I have had extensive background in energy work as an energy worker, and I'm a really good energy intuitive, okay? And I can tell you, from having had cancer twice and healing that, and then having had a Bartholin cyst in my Bartholin gland and healing that naturally, okay? And it hasn't come back, and people say, well, you have to have the surgery, that's the only way to heal it. And if you have the surgery, it doesn't matter because it's going to come back. Well, guess what? Been years. I haven't had another return of it, because I healed it. I healed that emotion that was triggering it. I healed the thoughts that were behind it. I'm not okay with any of this. And I walk around in the stores and I look at everybody, and I see that everybody is very compliant to wearing this mask and wearing it outside today. Well, I've news for you. On Long Island here, it's probably about 80 degrees today. And that mask is bringing in hot air, and it's breeding bacteria in that mask. And you're breathing in all of that moisture from your mouth, okay? And yeah, that breath in and out is staying in your mask. Really want you guys to not take my word for this, really, because I'm not even a doctor. I do have the med tech background, and I have, extensive knowledge as an energy worker, and as an energy intuitive, understanding the body. And that's like primarily function. I'm really good with, helping people heal trauma and helping people heal serious illnesses and whatnot. But uh, I could tell you that I'm really afraid for society right now with where we're going and what this is looking like with everybody wearing these masks, thinking that they're protecting themselves when they're not. We're tapping into a timeline that needs to leave. It's an old third dimensional paradigm where we cannot speak our truth. We do not have a voice. The government speaks for us. The doctors speak for us. Everybody else knows best except for us. Not acceptable. So I'm going to challenge you to stand up for your rights. Okay? And do your research. Don't take my word for it. Please do your research. Really, really important that you do that. Okay? So moving on. The next thing I want to talk about is from an energy perspective. I'm seeing a lot of people posting a lot of stuff, uh, fearing what's taking place with solar flashing and some other solar minimum and stuff like that that's taking place on the earth. So I just wanted to give my perspective since I'm asked and share that with you also, so that maybe this will ease some of the tension that some of you are feeling. So probably about, I want to say 3-4 years ago, I started to notice that the sun was doing this belly dance, this undulating, right? And I started to research it and found out that it was called solar flashing, right? It does a belly dance. And you could see it in the morning when the sun is first coming up, and then you see it in the evening. And it's like got this like little wave that happens. It's like this undulation that happens. It's really amazing to see, okay? And I noticed it a couple of years ago. I think it started back in 2015. And part of that is that the sun is actually changing its logos, its expression, its state of being. It's changing from our normal sun, which if you look at pictures of the past, the sun was very different than it is now, right? And if you look at the sun, you could see where the rays are more um, exaggerated when you look at it. So the rays around the sun is spread out. We're seeing these amazing rays that are like streaming from the sun. And then we're seeing like a lot of different lights when we're taking pictures, a lot of rainbow in there and everything. These are different light frequencies that are coming through, okay? And why that's important is because all of this light frequency that we don't see, but we could see it when we take a picture of the sun, or we see it when we're, taking a picture of the clouds, and there is this amazing rainbow uh, energy, this amazing rainbow light in there, right? That's presenting every time we're taking a picture. All of this light frequency is coming down into our bodies. We don't see it. Sometimes we feel it when we're, maybe getting headaches and feeling dizzy and feeling vertigo and things like that, right? And all of that is because our energetic field, our electromagnetic field, is actually being filled with this light, and then our consciousness is being expanded with this light. Okay, and so what's important about this is that all of this light is what is expanding the consciousness of humanity. We're in that shift right now. You've heard me talk about it before, the age of Aquarius, this whole ascension process. Sometimes you'll hear it as the Great Awakening. Right? This is us coming out of the Iron Age of oppression and abuse of power, and we're still seeing some of that playing out. We haven't fully cleared that timeline yet, right? That's why it's really important for everybody to let go of the compliancy and stand in your power and say no more, because we're needing to heal all of that right now. Okay, and so what's happening now is as we're hearing a lot of the solar flashing, and I'm hearing a lot of people talking about it, and from my perspective, there's a lot of different opinions about the solar flash, and some people are calling it the event. Some people thought or mentioned that the event was supposed to take place a couple years ago. And then each year it's like, it's this year and it's this year and no, it's this year. And so, to be honest with you, nobody really knows when it's going to take place. And there's this speculation it's going to happen between 2020 and 2024, and then there's more speculation that it's going to take place a certain way. And some people are like, oh my God, the sun is going to explode, and you know, I I don't hold that vision. I have to be honest with you. I've never held that vision, and I don't tune into that timeline. That timeline does not feel good for me. This is really where the sun is being amplified through um, the great central sun from the galactic center, right? This plasma energy is streaming through, and the plasma is what is coming through. Sometimes it makes you super cold. You'll get the chills for no reason. Your extremities, your hands and feet feel really cold. Sometimes it makes your stomach gurgle. I always say it's like rotor coming through. It's like the plumber, right? Cleaning you out, because the photonic light is coming through, bending the distortions, bending all of those old timelines, the belief systems that you have, the programs that you're running, and so it's bringing all of that to the surface, and then the plasma light comes through and it just cleans all of that out. And so for those of you that follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you know that my posts in the past have always included the sun. It's always included the sun, and I'm always talking about the divine Christed light, right? And the 333 code. Very, very important that we honor 333 as divine Christed light, because that's where we are now. And for me personally, my journey with the Christed light the Christed timeline, I should say, for Christ consciousness started to happen back in 2013, right? Maybe it was 2012, and then it really amplified in 2013 after the December 21st, 2012 activation of Gaia's spiritual ascension, okay? And so what happened was I started to become aware of this Christed timeline, and Jesus was showing up every single day, letting me know. I saw the eternal flame of God come through, and they're like, get ready, it's coming, right? But nobody really knows like exactly when it's coming. We can't predict that because everything is based on timelines. That's why it's so important for us to all raise our vibration and amplify this timeline on the earth, amplify this timeline so that we can raise the timeline and jump out of where we are, quantum jumping into a higher timeline where all of this nonsense doesn't exist, where the lockdown doesn't exist, where we are free again, except we'll be really free this time because there's that other part that I talked about in my other video, which has to do with us kind of being emancipated with the whole Federal Reserve thing, right? So you'll want to check that video out. I think it's called Bringing Light. And I did that a couple days ago. So this whole process is the sun actually flashing, and we can see it with our eyes open, right? It's not the same thing as that flashing that some of us experience when we close our eyes. A lot of times at night, people will experience these flashes of light, like a lightning flash or whatever. That's completely different, right? That's not what this is. Although that is significant, the flashes of light, it has to do with the two hemispheres of the brain coming together. But and so this light that we're in is very heart-centric. It's heart-based light that's taking place on the earth now, which is why we have to come together. We need to come together. We need to all be on the same timeline. We need to come together in love. We need to come together to assist and support each other. This is the work, okay? This is the work, so important. And so the sun, Solaris, is in its crystalline state right now, that crystalline light that's coming through, right? And it's amplifying us, it's amplifying our light body, our energetic body. It's turning on light codes for us. That's why sometimes we don't feel good. And when we don't feel good, we have to go lay down and just take a nap. And then come back online when we're done napping. That's the way life is now. So in the middle of the day, you might just feel exhausted for no reason. It's the light that's coming through. And part of this time out that we're in is to amplify these light codes. But in order for us to maximize this time that we're in, we have to hold a higher perception of what is playing out. We have to see it because, I hear all the time people are like, oh no, just focus on the higher timeline, just focus on 5D. Well, that's really great. And we do need to focus on the higher timelines. However, we also need to remember that our physical body is present in this third dimensional timeline that's playing out. So we're kind of in a tug of war with ourselves, right? So I want to say that we do have to make sure that we're keeping our thoughts high, and the vibration becomes high then in our field. Our frequency is high, right? And it continues to feed and amplify the vibration on the earth. But we can only do that when we keep our thoughts high and we are aware. And again, I talked about this the other day. We have to be a conscious observer in everything that's playing out in our reality. There is no other way anymore. We don't get to play this a different way. Humanity is evolving. We're coming into a time where we're in a state of heightened spiritual evolution. And we all need to get on board with this, right? So help your neighbor. If they're confused and they don't understand, help them. If you're confused and you don't understand, do your work, do your research, dig down, ask questions. I have a ton of videos that, not a ton, but I have enough videos that have really good information in them that will help support through this. You could always have a session. I have a ton of classes that are recorded. Some of them I've done with my girl Bobby Allison, and we had a lot of fun. Soul contracts, that's coming up a lot right now. Raise your vibration, that's another really good class. I would check those classes out, and if you're finding that you're needing some extra support, I'm doing everything I can to help you guys out. I don't get paid for this. When I do a video like this, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm donating my time. When I do research and I post something to my pages and update you and give you information, I'm donating my time. And some of that takes a lot of time. And doing this video, takes a lot of time too, between doing the video, then creating the board, the meme for it, and then posting it and then sending it out. Lots and lots of work there too, okay, between the writings and everything else. So all I'm asking is that please share, okay? If you're finding information here, feel free to share it with your neighbor. If you're finding information out there, share. And while I'm on the topic of sharing, to those of you who have been keeping me in the know, because it's not possible for me to do everything or be everywhere. I wish I could be, omnipresent in that state of being just like that. It's a little too much now for me, but I try to do my best with everything. I want to say thank you because you are really amazing, and there's too many of you to name because you become like a little spiritual warriors, like my little light warrior army people, and you're coming through, and we're doing this, and we're doing it, and we're getting the message out, and we're starting to shift things, and I already feel the energy starting to shift, but it's not enough. We have to do more. We have to be the voice, and we have to help people see that that what is taking place is not good, and it's really a violation of our constitutional rights in so many ways, okay? And again, I'm not a political person, and I probably don't even really have a full concept of what the heck I'm saying, except that I do have some knowledge from doing the research, and I have to laugh at myself, and so if you laugh at me, that's fine too. But so I just want to say thank you. You guys are amazing. I feel like I have a team of support out there that is really trying to get the information out. I can't do this alone. We have to do this together. Everybody has to participate. We all have to pitch in with each other. That's what this evolution is for. That's what this ascension is for. It means that every single person, every one of us takes responsibility right now. Right now. I don't care where you are in what you're doing. It doesn't matter. Every single one of us is responsible right now for what is going on, and we have to take responsibility. And if you're not doing that and you're feeling bad every day or crying every day or feeling frustrated every day, that's your higher self trying to tell you that you need to do something, you need to step up, you need to make a difference. So whatever way that's going to be, making a video to make somebody laugh, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I want to encourage you to step up again. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Those of you that are sharing my work, that are sharing my posts and my videos, let's keep it going. We have to keep this up so we could wake up those that are not yet awake. Okay? Know that I love you. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you for taking the time to message me and connect. And let's just keep this going. We want a different future for ourselves. We want to be free, not the free we were before, but the new free, the new earth kind of free. Okay, guys? All right, so I love you. I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much. See you soon.